not believe that any of us would exchange places with any other people or any other generation.
Relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, his brother Robert Kennedy,
have left a lasting mark on American history, like the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Decades later, the Zapruder film, showing those haunting moments in Dealey Plaza, still fuels intense conspiracy theories and heated debates. Now, in 2025, former President Donald Trump is making headlines again with a big announcement. As he prepares to take office on January 20th, Trump has promised to release the final, long-sealed JFK files, sparking a mix of excitement and skepticism. Across the nation, I've heard from many thoughtful individuals, reasonable people who genuinely care about uncovering the truth. They've reached out, urging caution, and some have asked me to hold off on releasing the JFK files. I listened, thinking carefully about their concerns. But at the end of the day, if I win, I'm committed to making them public. The hesitation wasn't just about timing, it's about the people who are still living. Those directly affected by the events surrounding the assassination. There are individuals whose personal stories remain intertwined with this history, and that adds a layer of sensitivity. Additionally, national security concerns can't be ignored, as there may be information that, if released, could potentially impact our safety in ways that aren't immediately clear. However, even with these challenges, the call for transparency has only grown louder. Many believe that after decades of secrecy, it's time to shed light on what remains hidden, regardless of the obstacles. Trump's historical promises and the JFK files. Former President Donald Trump's recent announcement to release the remaining JFK assassination files has sent shockwaves through both political and historical circles. This isn't the first time Trump has engaged with the complex and controversial topic of JFK conspiracy theories. To truly understand the significance of his latest promise, we need to delve into the history of his involvement with the JFK files. Throughout his political career, Trump has consistently made bold and assertive pledges, especially when it comes to issues of transparency and the declassification of sensitive government information. During his initial presidential campaign and subsequent re-election bid, he made a clear commitment to declassify all remaining government records related to the JFK assassination. This promise struck a chord with a wide range of Americans who have long called for a more open account of the events that unfolded that day in Dallas. In his first term, Trump did make some strides in fulfilling this commitment, releasing over 50,000 documents. However, under increasing pressure from intelligence agencies, particularly the CIA and FBI, he ultimately decided to withhold certain sensitive information. As a result, the remaining 3,000 to 4,000 documents, heavily redacted and entirely sealed, continue to fuel widespread speculation and debate. These files represent a critical piece of the historical puzzle, yet their secrecy only deepens the mystery surrounding the events of November 22, 1963. Trump's latest commitment to release the remaining JFK assassination files upon his inauguration in January 2025 has reignited a wave of hope among conspiracy theorists and historians alike that long-held secrets may finally be revealed. However, his track record on transparency has been far from consistent. While his administration took significant steps toward making some government records more accessible to the public, the decision to withhold a substantial number of documents has been a source of ongoing debate. Critics argue that these redactions and retained information only deepen the public's mistrust in governmental institutions, fostering a sense of secrecy and opacity that undermines confidence in the political process. They contend that withholding such crucial documents creates an atmosphere of distrust, leaving the public to question the integrity of government operations. On the other hand, supporters maintain that certain sensitive information must be protected, emphasizing the importance of national security over full disclosure. They believe that certain redactions are necessary to safeguard against risks that are not immediately apparent, citing the complexities of intelligence operations and the potential for revealing information that could be harmful if made public.
government documents, and in the coming days, public remaining records on F. Kennedy.
This ongoing debate underscores the delicate balance between transparency and the need for discretion. a balance that has proven increasingly difficult to achieve in today's politically charged climate. Trump's promises have been deeply intertwined with his broader political strategy, often serving as a way to appeal to a wide range of voters who feel disconnected from conventional political systems. By vowing to release the JFK files, he taps into a well of public curiosity and widespread skepticism surrounding historical government actions and the secrets they may be hiding. For many Americans, the idea that important truths have been suppressed for decades fuels a sense of mistrust toward official narratives, especially when it comes to pivotal moments in history like the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. In making this commitment, Trump not only seeks to address these concerns but positions himself as a figure who is willing to challenge the status quo and confront the mysteries that have long lingered in the shadows. This approach speaks to those who believe that transparency is long overdue, offering a sense of hope that long-held secrets will finally be brought to light. By positioning himself as a champion of uncovering the truth, whatever it may be, Trump positions himself as someone who stands against the establishment and advocates for greater accountability. His rhetoric resonates with those who feel disenfranchised by traditional political institutions, encouraging a sense of empowerment among those who seek greater access to information and a more transparent government. Ultimately, Trump's commitment to these files serves as both a reflection of public anxieties and a powerful political tool that taps into the broader discourse of mistrust and transparency in modern governance. Well, the reality is, when you step back and try to understand why those files haven't been released, it becomes clear that there are sensitive factors at play. Many of the individuals implicated in the assassination are still living, people who played roles within the government, whether directly or indirectly involved. When you consider their potential connections and the impact releasing these documents could have on their lives, especially if they were in positions of power or influence, it creates a difficult dilemma. These concerns often lead to hesitation, as governments historically avoid unsettling truths that could disrupt established narratives or cause personal and political repercussions. Yet, as time passes, the need for transparency grows. It's essential to acknowledge that the past cannot be rewritten, and withholding information only fosters mistrust and speculation. Now is the moment to open those files, to provide a clearer understanding of history and to ensure that the full story is available for future generations. The enduring allure of JFK conspiracy theories continues to captivate the public's imagination. Decades after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy on November 22, 1963, in Dallas, Texas, the Zapruder film, which captured the fatal moments, remains one of the most iconic and scrutinized pieces of evidence from that day, symbolizing the many unresolved questions that have persisted throughout history. Over the years, a multitude of theories have emerged, ranging from CIA involvement and government cover-ups to Mafia conspiracies and even theories involving rogue elements within the military. Each theory seeks to explain the complexities of the assassination, feeding a sense of mystery and uncertainty that continues to divide opinion. Experts like Gerald Posner, author of Case Closed, have meticulously examined the available documents and evidence, asserting that the released materials have already offered a comprehensive understanding of the events. Posner maintains that the idea of a single, explosive revelation capable of overturning the established narrative is unlikely. Instead, he emphasizes that the documents provide a detailed but incremental understanding, highlighting that no single piece of evidence will fully satisfy those searching for a definitive, smoking gun. Despite this, the sheer volume of classified materials and the continued secrecy surrounding certain aspects ensure that public curiosity and speculation remain alive. The secrecy surrounding the remaining documents fuels the conspiracy theories, leaving gaps that enthusiasts and skeptics alike fill with endless interpretations. For many, the unanswered questions serve as a reminder of the government's tendency to withhold information, thereby intensifying public mistrust. The fascination with JFK's assassination is not merely about the event itself, but about what it represents, an era of political turmoil, mistrust, and the fragile balance between transparency and secrecy. As time passes, the questions persist, and the desire for answers continues to be a powerful force shaping our collective understanding of one of the most pivotal moments in American history. The fascination with JFK's assassination goes beyond the event itself. It represents a pivotal moment of profound national trauma and a turning point in American history. The abrupt and tragic end to President John F. Kennedy's vision for the country, coupled with the social and political unrest of the 1960s, has left an indelible mark on the collective consciousness of the United States. The assassination remains a symbol of uncertainty and distrust, a tragic moment that continues to resonate through the decades. Conspiracy theories have proliferated in popular culture, offering numerous explanations and speculations about what really happened that day. From theories involving the CIA, the Mafia, and the Soviet Union, to more controversial claims involving Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson and other influential figures. These theories tap into broader societal anxieties. They reflect a deep mistrust in government institutions, fueling a sense of secrecy and questioning the official narratives. The Zapruder film, in particular, has become the focal point of this intense scrutiny. Its raw, unedited depiction of the assassination has been examined frame by both experts and enthusiasts, each trying to uncover new insights or detect inconsistencies. This meticulous analysis underscores the public's relentless pursuit of answers, as the unfiltered footage captures the chaos and tragedy in stark, haunting detail. The film's influence is significant because it presents the moment in its purest form, free from government filters or official accounts, allowing for endless interpretation and speculation. The secrecy surrounding the remaining documents and the gaps in historical understanding only deepen the public's fascination, making the JFK assassination a perpetual subject of debate and inquiry. As more time passes, the questions persist, ensuring that the mysteries surrounding that day continue to captivate generations, shaping the way history is understood and interpreted. The primary objective of historians and researchers today is to release more documents, ideally as many as possible. Renowned scholar Gerald Posner, in his book Case Closed, provides a thorough and compelling argument that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone in the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. However, despite this conclusion, there are still significant questions that linger, leaving room for broader interpretations. Many still wonder if there could have been a larger conspiracy at play. While Oswald was undoubtedly the shooter, the circumstances surrounding the event remain mysterious and perplexing. For example, the actions of Jack Ruby, who later killed Oswald, add another layer of intrigue. Ruby's motives and connections have been the subject of intense speculation. Who was he truly working for? Was he acting alone, or were there others involved? These unresolved mysteries contribute to the enduring enigma of the Dallas assassination, making the release of the remaining JFK files under the Trump administration a historic and monumental moment. As more documents are made available to the public, there is a renewed sense of hope that these lingering questions will be addressed and clarified. However, even with the vast amount of information already uncovered, there are still significant gaps that fuel conspiracy theories and speculative discussions. The complexity of the political climate during the 1960s, combined with the sensitive nature of intelligence operations and government secrecy, ensures that doubts and suspicions will persist. The release of these files represents a crucial step toward transparency. Yet it also poses the challenge of addressing decades of misinformation and speculation. For many historians and researchers, the ultimate goal is to uncover the truth, not just the facts of what happened, but the broader context in which those events unfolded. This pursuit could ultimately reshape our understanding of one of the most significant moments in American history, while also highlighting the ongoing tension between transparency and security in a modern democratic society. The impact of releasing the final files could be significant, both in terms of historical scholarship and public trust in government transparency. While many historians acknowledge that the remaining documents are unlikely to yield groundbreaking revelations, their release would stand as a powerful symbol of commitment to openness and accountability. For decades, families and individuals deeply affected by the JFK assassination have yearned for answers, and the declassification of these long-sealed records could offer the closure they have been seeking. Mark S. Zaid, a national security attorney, points out that the documents released thus far have already enriched our understanding of the Cold War era and the CIA's involvement in historical events. However, the remaining files, though limited in number, hold the potential to provide additional context or minor revelations that could further shape the broader historical narrative. These documents may not necessarily reveal startling new truths, but they could offer important insights into the complexities of intelligence operations, the political landscape of the 1960s, and the profound impact of government secrecy on public trust. Ultimately, the release of these files serves as more than just a historical endeavor. It is a reflection of society's ongoing struggle to balance transparency with the need for security. By addressing the public's demand for truth, the process of declassification may pave the way for a more informed understanding of the past, helping to bridge the gap between historical mystery and contemporary accountability. The release of these documents transcends merely documenting historical events. It represents a critical test of government transparency in the modern era. In today's world, where information is more accessible than ever before, the withholding of essential documents from the public can be seen as a significant breach of trust. While concerns about the protection of sensitive information for national security reasons are valid, they must be carefully balanced against the public's right to know. Striking this balance is a delicate task, one that demands transparency without compromising safety. Moreover, the release of the final JFK files has the potential to ignite a renewed wave of scholarly research and public discourse. Historians, researchers, and analysts would gain access to the complete set of previously classified documents, enabling them to conduct more thorough investigations and uncover new insights into the events surrounding the assassination. This could lead to a richer understanding of the political and social dynamics of the early 1960s, providing valuable context for understanding the broader implications of intelligence operations, government policies, and public trust. As more information comes to light, it opens the door for fresh interpretations and discussions about the operational methods of intelligence agencies, the decision-making processes behind historical events, and the lasting impact of government secrecy on public perception. By embracing transparency, the release of these documents could foster a more informed society, one where historical narratives are not solely shaped by speculation, but grounded in evidence and thoughtful analysis. You're suggesting that the president has the power to declassify these documents. But the reality is much more complex. It isn't just a matter of issuing a command and seeing it through. There are layers of bureaucratic procedures and legal safeguards that must be navigated. When a president expresses a desire to declassify documents like the JFK files, it often sets a process into motion, but not without its challenges. For example, the process might start with an initial statement, "Yes, sir, we'll get that to you in 3 months." However, as time passes, the situation becomes more complicated. Legal teams, intelligence agencies, and security experts all have a say, and each document faces scrutiny to ensure national security isn't compromised. Hurdles arise, concerns about sensitive information, redactions, and potential fallout if certain details were made public. The reality is that the declassification process isn't straightforward. It becomes a balancing act between transparency and the protection of sensitive information. The president is often left managing expectations while attempting to release information that can withstand scrutiny without compromising security. Decisions are weighed carefully, and sometimes compromises are necessary. Let's release some. But these in particular, they are national security secrets. In practice, navigating this landscape requires more than just the stroke of a pen. It requires strategic foresight, negotiation, and a deep understanding of the larger implications. Even with the best intentions, the process reflects the complexities of governance, where the line between openness and secrecy is constantly shifting. Ultimately, it becomes a matter of balancing the needs of the public with the need for security, ensuring that the final decisions reflect both transparency and responsibility. Trump's pledge to release the JFK files cannot be separated from the current political landscape. As he prepares to take office, this move serves a dual purpose, reinforcing his image as a champion of transparency and accountability while also addressing a deep-seated mistrust in government institutions. This approach taps into a well of public skepticism, appealing to those who believe that long-standing secrets must be revealed, regardless of the political fallout. The reaction has been divided. Supporters view it as a significant step toward fulfilling a long-standing promise, one that could potentially expose the truth behind decades of government secrecy. For them, it represents a bold effort to confront historical controversies head-on, suggesting a commitment to openness and reform. On the other hand, critics remain cautious, questioning whether the release will truly deliver new revelations or simply contribute to the proliferation of conspiracy theories with little substantiation. The involvement of key figures like Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who has previously expressed his own controversial views on public health, adds another layer of complexity to this decision. While his endorsement lends legitimacy to the release, it also intertwines historical inquiry with broader political alliances, opening the door to debates on transparency versus political agendas. The logistical challenges of declassifying these documents are immense. Determining which files can be safely released without jeopardizing national security is no small task. Trump's proposed solution, an independent commission, could prove essential in navigating these complexities. Such a body would need to balance thorough investigation with the delicate task of maintaining confidentiality when necessary. This move has the potential to reshape Trump's relationship with various political factions. Aligning himself with figures like RFK Jr., known for his outspoken stances, could lead to new alliances but also ignite tensions within the political landscape. The polarized nature of American society means that any move toward transparency will likely be met with strong opinions from both sides, further intensifying the ongoing divide. Ultimately, the release of the JFK files could be a defining moment for Trump's presidency, one that tests his ability to bridge the gap between historical openness and modern governance. What do you think? Will President Trump follow through on his pledge? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Tucker Carlson, known for never holding back when it comes to calling out the powerful, seems genuinely speechless this time. The reason? Some shocking revelations about Barack Obama, a secret that almost no one saw coming. If this is true, it could completely change how people view him. What could be so surprising that it left Tucker, who's never afraid to speak his mind, totally stunned? Stick around, what you're about to hear might just change the way you see everything. Tucker Carlson dives straight into a bold and unsettling claim. It's hard to believe we just witnessed a blatant coup unfold right before our eyes. An event that shakes the very faith in the foundational principles of democracy. The event he's referencing has left him, and many others, with serious questions about how power is transferred and whether transparency and legitimacy were upheld in the process. Carlson highlights how the reaction from Democrats and their supporters has only deepened these concerns. Rather than engaging in meaningful dialogue, they often resort to dismissive sarcasm, saying things like, "First, you said he was too senile to run for office, and now you call it a coup when they remove him." Carlson doesn't shy away from addressing the irony in this response. "Yes, both of those things are true, and I don't know what else to say to make this clearer." He counters, pointing out that doubts about the president's cognitive abilities have been mounting for years. However, he emphasizes that these concerns do not justify replacing a sitting president in a way that feels opaque or arbitrary. For Carlson, this isn't just about one administration. It's about preserving trust in the office of the presidency itself, whether someone agrees or disagrees politically. Carlson argues, such a monumental decision demands full transparency and accountability. Anything less risks undermining the very foundation of democracy. What truly unsettles Tucker Carlson isn't just the events playing out in plain sight. It's the intricate and often unseen manipulation of power behind the scenes. Carlson dives into the deeper mechanics of American politics, asserting that what the public encounters on television or hears in polished official statements is just the surface of a much larger, carefully orchestrated machine. Reflecting on Barack Obama's political trajectory, Carlson highlights how the former president represents more than just exceptional political skill. He's not just a gifted politician, he's the product of a meticulously engineered campaign backed by powerful interest groups. Carlson asserts, Obama's rapid ascent, he argues, isn't simply a story of raw talent or serendipity. Instead, it reveals the influence of an elite network capable of shaping not just careers but entire systems of governance. Carlson contends that every move and decision during Obama's rise was part of a broader strategy, not just to achieve immediate political objectives, but to control narratives, mold public opinion, and consolidate influence on a much grander scale. For Carlson, this pattern isn't unique to Obama but emblematic of how power operates in modern politics. Hidden, calculated, and often unaccountable to the very people it claims to serve, Carlson points out how effortlessly public perception can be shaped, emphasizing that much of what we see feels so natural that people rarely question it. It all seems inevitable, he observes, but when you take a closer look, the invisible hands guiding the process become impossible to ignore. Using Barack Obama's meteoric rise as an example, Carlson explores not only the former president's undeniable charisma and extraordinary speaking ability but also the deliberate system that worked behind the scenes to propel him to power. He argues that every step of Obama's journey, from his early political moves to the symbolic choices made throughout his presidency, was part of a carefully orchestrated, long-term strategy. Carlson contends that this is more than just a tale of one man's success, it's a striking example of how powerful networks, meticulous image crafting, and media influence can shape the destiny of an entire nation. For Carlson, it's a reminder to look beyond the surface and question the forces quietly steering the course of history. While many regard Barack Obama as a beacon of hope and renewal, Tucker Carlson offers a provocative counterpoint, arguing that Obama's influence stretches far deeper than most realize. Carlson highlights the role of hidden power networks and narrative-shaping strategies in constructing a political legacy that, in his view, is far from organic. What troubles Carlson most is not merely the existence of these invisible hands, but how effortlessly they blend into the fabric of public life, making it nearly impossible for people to distinguish between genuine achievements and carefully crafted illusions. Obama's journey, he argues, was far from the grassroots success story often portrayed by the media. Barack Obama did not emerge from the grassroots as many believe. Carlson asserts, his career is not the product of mere luck or talent. It is a series of carefully orchestrated steps supported by forces unseen by the public. Carlson contends that Obama's rise, from a relatively unknown figure to the first African American president of the United States, was meticulously planned by powerful entities operating behind the scenes. This transformation, he suggests, is not just a testament to Obama's personal skills, but a demonstration of how strategically wielded influence can elevate an individual into a symbol of hope and progress while consolidating power for larger, less visible interests. For Carlson, Obama's story is not just about one man. It's a window into how political narratives are built, maintained, and used to shape the perceptions of an entire nation. One particularly striking example of this theory, according to Tucker Carlson, is Barack Obama's breakout moment at the 2004 Democratic National Convention, a pivotal event that dramatically changed the trajectory of Obama's political career. At the time, Obama was a relatively unknown state senator from Illinois, with no federal office experience and a name that most Americans had never heard. Carlson reflected on this moment, saying, "I had never heard of Barack Obama before 2004. Even though my job was to follow major political developments. And yet, with just one speech, Obama was catapulted into national stardom." Carlson questions whether this was truly coincidental. Carlson shared a vivid memory of his first encounter with Obama one evening in Boston. Just before the convention, he recalled seeing Obama walking down the street, cigarette in hand, deep in conversation with Jesse Jackson Jr., another well-known black politician. In that moment, Carlson admitted he wasn't particularly struck. He looked quite ordinary. Nothing about him suggested he was a rising political star. Carlson recounted, "I wondered how someone like that could land such a prime speaking slot at a major party convention." Just days later, Obama took to the stage as the keynote speaker for Thursday night, a coveted primetime slot usually reserved for seasoned politicians with long-established reputations. Obama's speech resonated deeply with viewers, introducing him as a unifying and inspiring figure. According to Carlson, this moment wasn't just a turning point for Obama, it was the launchpad for his meteoric rise. A clear indication of how strategically placed opportunities can propel someone into the national spotlight. For Carlson, the calculated nature